Hey guys, how's it going? Maverick here. Coming back to you with another breaking news announcement for the NASCAR world. As you can see behind me, um, there has been a lot of speculation all year long where Kyle Busch would go for 2023. There's been speculation about Joe Gibbs trying to re sign uh, Kyle Busch for the 2023 season since Mars Company, the big major sponsor that Kyle Busch has had for pretty much his whole career, was leaving NASCAR at the end of the year for Joe Gibbs Racing as a whole. So there's been a lot of swirl, a lot of circulation, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, in the NASCAR community itself. There's been a lot of talks back and forth. There's been three different teams that got swirled out there for Kyle Busch. Not well, technically four is Joe. One was Joe Gibbs Racing, and that was the one that Kyle Busch is driving for now. Then there was Aspire Motorsports. Then you had Stewart Haas Racing, and the last one was Richard Childress Racing. So there's been a lot of talk, a lot of speculation about where Kyle Busch would go for 2023 because he also owns and runs Kyle Busch Motorsports in the Truck Series. So he has to think about not only as an owner standpoint, he also has to think like a driver standpoint as well, but also being a family man, being married to his wife Samantha and two kids, Braxton and his daughter. You have to look. He has to factor all that in. You know, it's just not him. Not like it was 15 years ago when he was up and coming driver and then he signed with Joe Gibbs Racing. It just wasn't him. Back then, yes, of course, it was only him, so he could make any decision he wanted. But now, since he's a family man, he's got two kids, a wife, and also a legitimate business as an owner in the truck series, he has to make thoughtful and right decisions to for him. So there has been a lot of speculation out there where Kyle Busch would go for the year. Um, with Mars leaving, the sport for NASCAR together as a whole, that left a big old sponsorship void for Joe Gibbs Racing for the 18 car itself, and that also left a void for for Kyle Busch as well. What major sponsor was he going to pick up for the 18 car for Joe Gibbs, who was going to come in and give that $20 million a year uh, funding to keep Kyle Busch running every year? Well, apparently Kyle Busch came out and said that he would take a little bit less to stay in the Joe Gibbs organization where he's been his whole career, pretty much, and he was willing to take less money. But it was just announced today. That's why I'm bringing you this video and breaking news that today it was announced that Kyle Busch, after a lot of speculation about where he was going to go, whether he was going to go to Stewart Haas Racing, Aspire Motorsports, or Richard Childress Racing, or stay with Joe Gibbs Racing. There's been a lot of speculation about that, where he was going to go for next year. So, with that being said, I figured I'd bring this to you. It was announced today that Kyle Busch will be driving the number 8 Chevrolet out of the Richard Childress Racing stable for next year, for year 2023. Not, you guys sit there and say, wait a minute, what about Tyler Reddick? Well, Tyler Reddick signed a deal with 2311 Racing. That's Denny Hamlin's Toyota team for 2024. Now you guys sit there and think, wait a minute, where's Tyler Reddick going to go? Well, Tyler Reddick currently drives the number 8 Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing for 2022, but Tyler Reddick is financially um, obligated to still drive for Richard Childress Racing in 2023. Now you may wonder, where is Tyler Reddick going to go for 2023, since, as you see here, that Kyle Busch will be taking over the number 8 car for Richard Childress Racing next year. Well, there's a couple things that could happen, but Mr. Childress came out today and said that they will pick up a third charter, which they're allowed to do. Now, will he go to a full time 3 car operation long term? No, he's only going to do this for next year because he's still financially contracted through Tyler Reddick contract for 2023. So he's going to pick up a third charter, which more likely they're going to rent a charter for next year for Tyler Reddick to drive for that charter. Now, with that being said, that will move Kyle Busch over to number 8 stable, which the crew chief for Tyler Reddick will stay with the number 8 car. So the crew chief will stay right where he sits. He's just going to be the crew chief for Kyle Busch in 2023. Now, with Tyler Reddick moving over to the rented charter for 2023, they got to find another crew chief for him for the year, or vice versa, and we'll go from there and we'll see what happens next year for that. But I just wanted to bring you this breaking news that was announced today that Kyle Busch will be driving for Richard Childress Racing for 2023. He will be driving the number 8 Chevrolet. What also being also that I wanted to bring to y'all as well, that Kyle Busch did come out and say a couple weeks ago that he wanted to have a father and son, you know, team, or a truck or a car that him and his son can race together as a father and son deal, and not just one sided. He wanted to have father and son time with his son, right? Well, you may sit there and wonder, okay, why didn't Joe Gibbs give that to him? Well, first of all, Joe Gibbs is not in the truck series like Kyle Busch is right now with KBM, but now you sit there and wonder, okay, what about Richard Childress Racing, since Kyle Busch is going over to Richard Childress Racing for 2023? Now you sit there and may wonder, okay, Richard Childress Racing doesn't mind picking up, since they're Chevy oriented. They have Chevrolet cars and Chevrolet manufacturing. Now, with that being said, they're also talking about, it's not a done deal as far as where KBM is going to change sponsorships. Right now, they're still through Toyota right now, but obviously with Kyle Busch moving over to Richard Childress Racing next year for 2023, that, you know, Chevrolet is going to pick up KBM as their primary manufacturer, and KBM is going to switch over from all Toyota manufacturing and parts and trucks and everything else to Chevrolet trucks and parts and the whole nine. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's not a done deal as far as the Kyle Busch Motorsports through Toyota and Chevrolet. Right now, they're still obligated with Toyota as far as the KBM side. But for Kyle Busch himself, for his, NASCAR career, he is leaving Joe Gibbs after 15 years career with Joe Gibbs Racing, won numerous races, 2 championships. He's moving over to Richard Childress Racing in 2023. But also, Richard Childress Racing brought his Kyle's wife and his son Brexton up to the stage and handed Kyle's son Brexton a contract when he turns the age of 16. He is being signed a $400,000 contract to drive for Richard Childress Racing when Braxton turns 16 years old. Which right now Braxton is only 7, so we still got another 12 years to go. We'll see. We'll see where he's at in the next, few years. We'll see where he's at. But Richard Childress Racing did extend a contract to Braxton, and quite amount of money for a kid just growing up. That's a lot of money. So we'll see what happens. I know everybody in the NASCAR world thought it was a nice gesture for Richard Childress to do that for his son. But there's also speculation or a lot of, squabble about why did Joe Gibbs lose Kyle Busch and this and that. Well, this right here, everyone, is you have it. Basically, this is where Kyle Busch is going to go for next year. You know where he's going. I basically said enough said right there. So, without further ado, I want to come to you with this breaking news. It was announced this morning. Sorry, I was busy all day today. And before making this video, I want to come to you, let you know what the news is. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the video. Remember, please hit the notification bell at the bottom. Hit the like button. Give me a few comments what you think of the video. More importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please tell your friends. Come on over. I also do live streams as well. And also, I'm having fun doing this. I enjoy trying to make videos and content for y'all to enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Without a further ado, you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you're at. Maverick out.